Welcome to Half Past Broke, where the dreams are big and the wallets are smaller. I'm Walker.
Are you?
I'm different.
I'm Eric. Nice to meet you.
I got into the groove, you know.
I know. It was like a flashback. It all came flooding back,
Yeah.
right? You missed one intro, and then you just had to rely on muscle memory for it. But it was smooth. I like it. And what are you drinking while we're throwing it back?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I'm a coffee drinker today.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. I thought I saw a coffee mug on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because well, I was gonna say it's noon, but it's actually we were supposed to record at noon, and then I didn't wake up until 12:30, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta make coffee, I gotta make a TikTok, and then all my yeah, and then all my settings were fucked. So we should have.
So the whole time you were sleeping, I got my second dose of vaccine. I went to the gym. I put stuff on the smoker. I made coffee. I made a TikTok. I vacuumed my whole house and I cleaned my whole kitchen. I got up at like 5:30 this morning.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in waking up that early.
No, it's fine. It's just 2 each. That's just how I do. I wake up mad early. I just can't sleep past like 6 o'clock. For some reason my brain is just like, oh hey, the sun's kind of coming up. Oh, you're up now.
Damn, you gotta get some blackout curtains or something. Jesus.
Nah, I got the blinds up, the window open, because the upstairs at this house is so freaking hot. Like, it's the only way I get cool air.
Oh man, air conditioning, fucking at 55 degrees year round, blasting.
Well, you know,
32 degrees outside. I'm air conditioning 65 degrees inside.
Oh my god, there's such bad insulation in this building, in this old house. Like, air conditioning would just drive up my electric bill, so I just refused. I refused to touch it. I'll sweat through the summertime. This is warm in the winter.
We're actually solar here, so so it's normally I would like probably not run my air conditioning all the time like recklessly, and just because but solar, I don't know. That's probably not even like a great reason to, but it helps me justify it.
So, what kind of coffee do you got today?
Actually, Dollar General or Dollar Tree coffee.
Oh no! Did we jump into a new segment already?
What was the name of this coffee? What company? We don't know the name of it. It's from Dollar Tree. $1, and it's actually good. It's like,
is it like coffee grounds?
Yeah, it's a bag of coffee. Like, you go out and get a bag of like Dunkin' Donuts coffee grinds or Starbucks or whatever. It's like not bad,
that's amazing.
It's the same size bag. So like, if you buy this, God, I'll try to remember to get the company name at some point. If you get one bag of this for $1, it's the same size as like the $10 bags of Starbucks coffee, which obviously Starbucks is going to be a more premium coffee, better coffee, but.
Like, what would you give that? Like, out of a 10?
Easy 6, 7. But here's my comparison is and I do this with food too. I usually say if I got this served to me at a restaurant, I would be happy with it. And if I went to a diner,
I was just thinking it's like coffee, like diner coffee kind of. Yeah.
If I went out to a diner and I got served this coffee, I wouldn't even think twice. So that's a good thing because it's not bad. It's not like, oh, this is fucking disgusting. You're not spitting it out. It's good. And the only thing I have in it right now is 2 Splenda. So
I was gonna say full disclosure. I think both of you and I are like more of a we drink black coffee.
Yeah.
So like the flavor of the beans makes a huge difference for us. It's not like we put cream and sugar and everything in. 2 Splenda's not bad though. I don't really. Yeah. I put stevia in mine sometimes. But it's weird. I drink my coffee black, but I put cream and stevia in my tea.
Ooh, that's weird. I don't know if that's weird. I don't want to say weird because everyone drinks everything different.
Yeah, but it's funny because you more times than not you see people drinking tea naked as opposed to coffee. So like it's just weird that I flip that around and I don't drink my tea naked.
Yeah, if I do tea, it's either straight up or. If I'm sick, if I'm having a little bit of the sniffles, I do lemon and honey.
I do that anyway. Green tea with a little bit of lemon and honey is actually super good. Like, not even if you're sick, it helps with the throat too. When I was trying to do like the voices and everything, like green tea, lemon, and honey, like really helps
Mm.
soothe it. So that was always what I went for.
Yeah,
Or black tea. I like black tea too.
I like. I'd say I'm a well refined Earl Grey man myself. I this was like instilled on me because so when I was once upon a time I was an electrician, right? And if you don't know, when you're an apprentice, you're the low man on the totem pole, which means you go get coffee for people. That's like 80% of your job. That, like, they literally tell you that. They said, don't even worry about electrical work. Just get our coffee order right. So there was this one guy. He wasn't even for the company I worked for. I was like, I worked on a very, 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 very big job. So there was like 4 or 5 electrical contractors. And you know, if we're out of something, you know, you gotta go schmooze the other companies. Say, hey guys, you know, can we borrow this? We'll get you right back. So I'm out there schmoozing, trying to get some materials, right? So I offered to get one of the foremans. I was like, yeah, I'm running for break. You want me to get you anything? This man gives me the most goddamn specific order ever. He's like, I need, he like, I had to go like, I'm lucky that the place I went to had Bigelow, like the company. He's like, I
Oh
need
yeah.
Bigelow Earl Grey tea, this temperature, this in it. If it's not Bigelow, I don't want it. And I'm like, my dude, I'm like, I'm going on a run for like 30 people. I'm not going to a separate store for you. So like, I was just like, so lucky that they had Bigelow Earl Grey tea, and ever since then I'm like, well, there must be something to this. So I tried it, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. So that's my tea of choice would probably be Earl Grey,
Yeah.
potentially Bigelow.
I do
But
like
yeah,
Bigelow, but Bigelow is more on the expensive side. Bennett tastes really good, and it's the Aldi brand. You can get like the 12 packs or whatever packs of like boxes of like super cheap. So I always kind of went with those.
Twinings is another one, right? I think
I
that's
do
Twinings English breakfast. I feel like that sticks
Yeah.
out to me.
I also have like the really snobby like organic loose leaf black tea
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
I just wanted to try what loose leaf black tea would taste like. It's amazing, but I use it sparingly because I don't want to run through it because it's expensive.
Well, absolutely. You gotta keep the cheap stuff for everyday use, and then treat yourself to some high quality tea leaves.
Yeah, dirty tea
But
water.
I don't do tea that often. It's not that I don't like it. It's just and it's not even that it's any more difficult to make than coffee. It's probably easier. It's literally boiling water and you drop something in it. So
It's just
it's
not
actually
in your repertoire. And well, you have a
yeah.
Keurig too. We were talking about this a couple episodes ago. You put the tea bag in the Keurig and just make it like you would coffee grinds.
The more I think about that, that just seems like I don't know. Like, is that even saving any step? You gotta clean out the coffee grinds. I don't know. Tea is just pretty straightforward, right? It's just
Yeah.
boil water and put a tea bag in, and then steep it for however long you like. I like
Well,
my teas a little heavier.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even have taken it out of the tea bag. I would have like pulled the little like cord thing or the little rope off of the tea bag, put it right in the Keurig, the thing that comes with the reusable filter thing, and I would have just done it that way. Honestly, like that's what I've done. That's what I've done a couple times.
Yeah, no. What I meant was, so like, say you make coffee the previous time, right? Now the coffee grounds are still in there because I'm dirty and I don't take care of things
I
right
was gonna
away.
say I take that shit out like the
No
second
way.
it's done. Yeah.
No way. There's no possible way. No human being makes coffee, puts the coffee grounds in there, says, "Man, I'm so psyched to get this cup of coffee," and then says, "You know what? Before I enjoy this thing that I've been
I
craving,
do that.
I'm gonna pull this out and wash this reuse." No, there's no
Yes,
possible
I
way.
do that because it's a thousand times easier when it's hot to go over to the garbage, smack it on the edge, dump all the coffee grounds out, rinse it out, and then put it back in the thing for next use. And I do that because it also gives me time to let my coffee cool because the Keurigs make them so ungodly hot.
You're a maniac. You're simply a maniac.
Why? Because I'm organized.
Maybe. Yeah. Yes. Short answer, yes.
Okay.
That's why. That's
enough.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's the last thing on my mind. The last thing on my mind when I'm brewing coffee is, man, I can't wait to clean this before I enjoy this coffee that I've been slaving over.
It's just a second nature thing. I don't even have to think about it. I literally am like,
You're
I hear the little beep and I go, I'm OCD when it comes to my kitchen though.
Yeah. You do keep a clean kitchen. I'm gonna let the dishes pile up and handle it all in bulk kind of guy. And you're correct me if I'm wrong, but you're as a dish goes in, it gets cleaned and taken out.
Except for recently, I was just telling you before we were recording, my sink is all messed up right now, and it's driving me nuts because I have like 4 dishes in there that I need to do, and I can't clean my pan that I was making. Because I made burritos this morning. Well, not this morning. It was 11 o'clock, but I made burritos.
How is that? What do you mean? How is 11 o'clock in the morning? Not this morning.
Wow, I mean, when you were up, when you've been up since like 5:30, that's
It's
breakfast.
still the morning. It's still the morning.
It's
That's
still
like
breakfast.
Saying, 9 p.m.
That's still like breakfast
9 p.m.
range.
this afternoon.
Or no, that's still like lunch range though. 11 to 1 is like the luncheoning.
I feel like in the workforce they've kind of like forced people to think of 11 a.m. as lunch, because I did my lunch break when I was a working man. My lunch break was at 11:45, and I always thought that was weird. I'm like, this is in the breakfast range, but I guess you're right. I guess it could be creeping up on lunch range, but for me it's absolutely still breakfast.
Well, I guess I was at a crossroads. I either make breakfast or I make lunch, and at that point I wanted to make lunch because I was gonna make bulk like taco meat and all that stuff. So, and I was gonna get everything ready so I could have it for the rest of the week and everything.
Yeah.
And I was also like setting up my smoker with everything, so I still I had lunch and dinner on the mind. So where I work, our lunches are at like 9 or at like 3 or 4 o'clock.
That so it's all situational. It's all what shifts you work, how long have you been working. You know, if you wake up at if your shift starts at 3 in the morning, then you know your lunch is going to be exponentially earlier than if you know you start your shift at 9, and then if you start your shift at 9 and you've only been awake for 3 hours, it's weird to have lunch.
Yeah, exactly. And like I guess like what you eat on your lunch is still subjective. Like they call it lunch, but I mean you could eat like a 3-course meal or a breakfast meal or something like that. It's pretty subjective what you actually eat on your lunches.
I was gonna say, right? You could have you said you were at a crossroads. You could have just slapped an egg on the burrito, and it could have been a brunch. It could have been a brunch. You know, is it breakfast? Is it a breakfast burrito? Is it a regular burrito with an egg on it? We don't know. It's
I didn't have any hash browns. Area. I didn't have any hash browns, and I like whenever I'm making like breakfast burritos. What I like to do is like a little bit of hash browns, a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of cheese, and then a couple eggs on top, and then I wrap it up and put some hot sauce in it.
Yeah, that's a breakfast burrito.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah. No gray area, tried and true, straight up breakfast burrito. But you could reduce the breakfast elements in it and maybe put a little more lunch elements in it.
Yeah,
you could have a brunch burrito.
You ever seen like the breakfast burgers where they have like the egg on top and all that stuff?
That's kind of what I was thinking, because I hate that when they're like, try our breakfast burger. I'm like, this is your same fucking burger with an egg on it.
I've seen ones where they use hash brown patties as the buns.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
they like form their own patties and they cook them enough so they stay together. So when you bite down, it's just like crunchy hash brown. Oh, it's so good.
That's what I'm. If I'm getting a breakfast burger, I want fucking waffles as the buns. I want bacon, egg, cheese, and like I don't know, if you slap a regular beef patty on there, I'm okay with it. But like I basically want a breakfast sandwich served to me at an Applebee's.
Yeah,
at like whatever time I desire, accompanied with a 32-ounce beer.
Speaking of companies that make really good breakfast sandwiches, Tim Hortons, like they have a breakfast sandwich that's like, or no, it's a wrap actually. It's called a farmer's wrap or farm something wrap, and it basically is a hash brown with sausage, egg, and cheese on it. And then there's something else that they put in there, but it's a really good wrap. Like the sauce that they put in there, everything. It's super good. I haven't had it in a while, but I did enjoy it a couple times. Last couple times I've had it.
Now I need an honest opinion, because I'm not sold. Is Tim Hortons good or not good food?
Donuts, not so much. Their bakery stuff, their baked goods, like their bagels and their you know, the English muffin
Mm-hmm.
and croissants and everything. Their sandwiches are excellent. Their coffee is I would still I would say 6 or 7. If I wouldn't put it too high on my list of good coffees, 'cause let's be honest here, Dunkin' Donuts will always have like a special place in my heart because it was the only coffee shop
Mm.
near where I lived, so I used to always go there every time I went to work. So I was always so used to going to Dunkin' Donuts. But I still think I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee a little bit better. And you know, honestly, I'd almost put McDonald's coffee a little bit higher on the list too.
And you should.
Yeah.
And you should. McDonald's, I believe, is the best fast food coffee.
Mm,
Arguably,
bar
that's an
none,
opinion.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
not counting like actual coffee joints, but except for Tim Hortons. For some reason, I do like not Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's coffee a little bit better than Tim Hortons.
I liked it so much better. So I don't have Tim Hortons anywhere near me, and in the only time I've probably only been to one Tim Hortons in my entire life, but I've been there about 7 times
Oh yeah,
because
on the way up
it's
to me, right?
yeah, but I've stopped there before. I've stopped there before one time years ago, probably when I was in high school, and I was going up to a motocross race with my dad at Broome Tioga in Binghamton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you take that highway, and that's why I stopped there the first time on my way up to you. I was like, I had like flashbacks. I was like, holy shit, I know this Tim Hortons. I know this. So I pulled off there, and now it's a ritual for me. If I'm driving up north that way, I stop at that Tim Hortons on the way there and the way back. And every single time I am so unimpressed by their food, but I keep going back because it's Tim Hortons and they're not around me.
It's so weird. Like I've always really liked their like breakfast food. Like maybe not so much their donuts and everything, but like I said, I think their breakfast food is pretty good. Also, I think the closer to Canada you get, the better it is.
So
We'd have to
actually,
ask. We'd have to. Well, once they open up the borders again, we got to go ask Wagner.
yeah.
Go do a taste comparison.
Well, that's like asking an American if Applebee's is bad. They're gonna be like, no way, I go there every Thursday night.
Wow, like
Half
it's still
price
bad.
Yeah, but so you say the sandwiches are good, and that might be the issue because when I've been traveling up there, it hasn't been open. They specifically their sandwiches have not been for sale. So all they had was coffee and donuts. That's all I've gotten from Tim Hortons.
Oh, okay.
The donuts were donuts. They were not bad by any means. Were they world renowned? No. I've had Krispy Kreme. I've had like fresh like
Oh,
bakery. Even Krispy Kreme aren't even like the best of the best. They're delicious, but there's like bakery donuts, like real actual. I'm not saying like Krispy Kreme's not an actual bakery, but like
Krispy
local
Kreme's really
bakeries.
good.
Yeah, they're delicious, but there's like local bakeries who make just insane donuts.
You know, there's this one place, and I'd love to like next time we hang out. Like, I'll either grab some and bring it down to you, or I'll send them to you because they're really good. There's this place called Donuts Delight, and
Donuts delight.
they're so good. Like people from Buffalo and like way out like Albany area like come to this specific store so they can get their donuts from. Like it's pretty renowned in New York. Like people love
Really?
that place. I mean, obviously, if you go to New York City, better donuts. But
Let's do a donut trade because there's this place by me. I don't know the name of it. I don't know where it is. All I know is that we went to dinner for Mother's Day for with Liv's family, and I think someone brought over these donuts, and my goodness, now I'm on keto, so now I'm just sitting there salivating like a goddamn hyena over these like 6 pound donuts, and they were so much. Everyone was like cutting them in half and like, oh, I can't even finish this half, and like throwing them in the garbage. I'm like, oh, I want to die. Like these
oh
look
my
so
god.
fucking good, and they're just like, oh, I can't even eat these. Like, like there was like a dozen of them, and I'm like, I want these so fucking bad. But maybe we'll do a donut trade. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
find a place by me. I'll mail you a box, and you mail, or not even a box. Mail me like 2 donuts. I'll mail you 2.
Oh, we'll just meet. We'll meet each other at the border. We'll do illicit donut trades.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We got some shady behavior going
It would
on.
be so funny if we met up at a truck stop at the border and just traded donuts.
I'm gonna wear a trench coat and dark sunglasses like at night. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
god.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a
It's so dumb. I mean, yeah, you weren't followed here, were you?
Oh my god, it's just where like yeah, no, it's just where like it's like oh yeah, we're wearing masks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the ski masks.
Ski
Like,
mask.
sir, you don't have to wear your mask anymore. No, this is not a mask for that purpose. This is illicit business. All right. Enough about the illegal donut trade.
I know, right? We went a little bit more in depth to that than I thought.
Yeah, that got pretty detailed down to what we were wearing. Anyway, so this totally off topic, but I'm interested in the donut trade, so we'll be in contact about this.
Oh yeah.
What are we? So I guess for literally. Oh no. Figuratively, bang for your buck. My pick is going to be their coffee. It's not the best.
Yeah.
But like if you're just looking for coffee to slap in every morning and just go for it for a buck, and they have different flavors. They've got like Donut Shop. They got Donut Shop might be the name of the company actually.
No,
I don't know.
because Donut Shop's a type of coffee.
Okay, well then then they have like Donut Shop. They have breakfast blend. They got a bunch of different stuff. So see what you like.
Check it out. Be interested because I'm running on a death wish, and that's what I drink.
No, you're gonna. That's like not comparable. Like a premium, like. So if it was like a beer, I would call it a craft beer, right? What is it called when it's like a highly refined, reputable coffee place?
Shit.
Not damn. Not craft. Would it be like
it's commercial maybe?
No, commercial would be like I mean
like
I guess
Bud
maybe Death
Light,
Wish.
I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think artisanal.
Oh yeah.
Is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah, I guess it would be more considered like an artisanal style, like coffee. I mean, it's honestly like taste wise, it's really not that much better. It's got a bunch of caffeine and it's organic.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I like it. Also, I bought a thing of Rain the other day and I actually really liked it. I bought the cherry lime flavor.
Rain?
Mm-hmm.
I never had the cherry lime.
I've never had Rain before, but I want since I ordered actually something else that I did since last week is ordered a thing of Ma.
As you should.
Still waiting for it to show up a week later, but
it's not even a full. It's like 4 days.
It's been a week.
It has not. No, I guarantee you, it has not been a week. Go check your calendar. 100. I will bet my life it has not been 7 full days.
Let me get
guaranteed. Guaranteed. But anyway, while you're looking that up, I have one thing to say about the figuratively bang for your buck and how I fucked up 2 episodes ago, 2 episodes ago, or maybe last one. So, as you know, my pick for either the last episode or the episode before was Bang Energy, which I fucked up because it could have been literally bang for your buck because it was a can of Bang Energy for $1, and it would have been literally bang for your buck, and I did not seize the opportunity to say it, and I felt bad, and it basically destroyed my life. I am a broken shell of a man I once was over not making that joke. So go on. How many days ago? It had to be 5-6 days ago. Certainly not a full week. 4 days.
Didn't start processing till June 7th. Hang on, trying to find the actual date.
All right, well, it's not that important, but we do
placed on June 4th. It's been 6 days.
Yeah, that's not a week.
That's okay. So it's not estimated. Okay, I just saw this thing. It says not estimated to show up until the 17th or the 15th. That's a week. That's more than a week. I need my energy.
Since you ordered it, yeah, it's
11 days. 11 days from when I ordered it to when I'm getting it.
Yeah, but not a week. Oh my god, are we changing the rules of this game? You said you ordered a week ago. It was only 6 days ago. So
okay. So I'm sorry. I was 1 day off.
Yes. I live in absolutes.
Go fuck yourself. But it's just the fact that it was like, oh yeah, no, estimated time of arrival is June 15th. I'm like, well, I wanted it like at least this week.
I don't know. That's not bad. Even a week and a half or stuff. So I mean, I guess that's probably where we've been totally spoiled by the fucking Amazon Prime era. Like, imagine ordering something 15 years ago and expecting it to be there the next day. You know, like
Right?
Amazon Prime is so like absolutely ruined our, not even our generation. Everyone. It's ruined everyone. Everyone's like, if I order this, Amazon could get it here overnight. Well, Amazon's a freak of nature. Okay, we don't know how they do it. It's completely beyond me how Amazon can airdrop shit within 12 hours.
No, if they have a distribution center in the city, it can be done. I know I've got but no. I know how it works.
I've ordered things and it's been there within 6 hours. I ordered a fishing reel at like 3 in the morning and it was there by like 9 in the morning.
Oh yeah, if you order it before,
what the hell is this?
If you order it before the waves of trucks go out, then yeah, that could definitely get it into the shipment for that. Because I guess the Amazon packaging people, like the people that do all like the setups and everything for the deliveries, work at like 12 to 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
like that's their
schedule. It has to be something like that. It's so silly. It's absolutely wild. But you know what? And then they ruined us because now even if it takes a week and a half or even if it takes 2 weeks to ship something in, like that was totally normal.
I don't like it.
What?
Waiting 2 weeks for something? If I'm ordering it, I want it today.
Before Amazon came out, that would be like, it'd be like, 2 weeks, that's totally reasonable. That's like 100% fine. Like, you never ordered something and expected it to be. Now Amazon's just like, sup bitches, we're at your door. I'm like, I haven't even hit buy now yet. They're like, yeah, but just in case you were going to, we're here with it.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, this is a recent development, because I remember if there was something I wanted sooner rather than later, I would just opt to go to the store to get it. And that was like 2 years ago. So it's like, it's insane how fast Amazon jumped. Well, it's after they made their own delivery system and separated from like FedEx, UPS is when they started getting a lot faster. I don't know how that's possible. Probably because it's all one company distributing all from one thing. So.
And don't they have warehouses like outside like hub cities? So like
like Arizona, I think, has a huge one.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, but it's also not ruined people, but you know, like
our expectations have changed.
Exactly. They have raised the expectations of shipping tenfold, 20-fold.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a company that it distributes goods, set your shop up on Amazon because people will get your stuff faster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of people are doing. A lot of like independent like goods, like people that make stuff are selling it on Amazon because it gets out faster and like the reviews are all centralized and blah 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 blah. There's incentives for doing it through Amazon.
It's also the if you can't beat them, join them thing, because a lot of mom and pop shops are getting fucking decimated by Amazon, and so now it's jump in there, sell on Amazon. It is what are you laughing at?
I was gonna say, at this point Walmart's getting decimated by Amazon because now they have the Amazon food thing.
And you know what, like, but it's like, you know, like fuck Walmart, but like the little shops, like,
I know, but
if you're like a local shop owner, like that's devastating to you when like so like for me, bike shops, right? Bike shops are getting it's tough because I can get this for $10 cheaper on Amazon. Then go fucking get it $10 cheaper on Amazon. And what I've seen people do is buy shit like off the internet and then bring it to a bike shop to have it installed. Be like, oh, so like like you couldn't have just like support your local bike shop, support local, spend the $10 extra, buy it in shop. They're not upcharging you because they're trying to line their pockets. They're trying to pay their fucking electric bill. They're trying to keep their stock up. You know, they're trying to pay their employees. They're not upcharging you because they're dicks.
Yeah, I think the future of like mom and pop shops are going to be very much e-commerce, and a lot of their like actual like sales are going to be like through big stuff like Amazon. Because even on Amazon, like you go there right now, you can look up third-party companies that like sell stuff.
So, absolutely.
I mean, like I'm not saying that mom and pop shops are not suffering, but I'm saying like the future might be like if you want to open up a small business, think less storefront, think more like online storefront, like e-commerce.
When I think opening up your own business and mom and pop shop, I think they're very different things. To me, opening up your own business is, just like anyone who wants to, I want to sell
Yeah,
shoes. Let me go buy and sell shoes. But like a mom and pop shop to me is something that's been like handed down from generation. And
yeah, but
it's
they're
just
the
like a
same thing.
brick and mortar. Been there for 40 years. It's being an established
Yeah,
shop and getting basically put out of business by a website is definitely different than a 19-year-old entrepreneur right now deciding that he wants to drop ship Kit Kat bars, because he's thriving because this is the what he grew up in. But like the older generation, and I know you have to adapt and overcome, but like when you're
yeah.
on the
I mean,
verge
I
of
get it. Like,
retirement.
I'm not like cold and heartless. I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, screw those mom and pop shops. But like, so you got like you said, adapt and overcome. Like, there's a lot of things out now that people want, and it's yeah, it's gonna hurt, but that's just how it goes. I mean, like there's companies that from like 80 years ago that are no longer around today because they couldn't keep up with the change.
Yeah, I don't know. I always come back to the bike shops. I always come back to
Yeah.
the skate shops. Guess what? When was the last time you saw a skate shop? Probably I can't remember the last time I passed it. They used to be around because you can go buy a fucking board online for cheaper because their overhead is less and they don't have
Yeah.
it's I don't know. There's no correct answer. I'm not an economist.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer to see these established businesses of so long go out of business because someone online can undercut.
Yeah. No, yeah, I do agree that sucks. I think a lot of like storefronts, you're going to see a big change in storefronts from stuff that you can buy to like services that are provided.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like maintenance, or if you go in for, I don't know, like if you want to like consultations for stuff like that, or like hell, like they got like, I mean, it's so funny. I've seen online, or not online. What was the like like those internet shops or whatever where you walk
The
in and
internet
there's like, yeah,
cafes?
internet cafe, thank you, yeah. I've seen those pop up a lot more lately. A lot of people are loving on the internet cafes because it's like allows them to be social and everything too.
It's a bit of nostalgia as well, right?
Yeah, so I think like the internet shops are coming back. So like that's what I mean. Like I think we're gonna shift more to like service and food as opposed to storefronts that sell like solid products.
Well, only time will tell.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I have no idea what I'm talking about as
yeah,
well.
this is complete speculation.
Yeah, I am certainly not educated in the comings and goings of the modern business in America. But I do always and will always prefer to support local.
Yeah.
And I encourage you all to do the same. Other than that, we had a whole topic for today that we haven't even gotten to yet.
Yeah, yeah, no, we started with coffee. Hell, this whole conversation started with us talking about coffee.
Yeah, right. It was like, "What are you drinking?" And it's like 16 hours later about coffee. Um,
um,
do we touch on it, or do we save it for another time? What are we up to?
do you want to save it for another time? I feel like that there's so much information to what like, and I don't mind pushing it off for another week. And we were talking about it and we were like, let's just do it. And we're like, oh no, I think both of us keep psyching ourselves out from this topic because it's a big one. And I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. Just so you know, like this is why we keep flaking on this specific topic is
Wow, flaking is
not
certainly a
flaking.
strong.
Flaking's not the right word, but you know what I
I don't
mean.
like that. Preparing and don't expect too much. Don't say, "Wow, they've been really spending this whole time preparing." I'm still gonna deliver a shitty fucking performance,
yeah, I just want to make
even
sure
though
that.
it's no. That's it. You go.
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure that at least we can share highlights about the thing and stuff like that. At first, we were gonna do like what we like about it, and then I think we want to kind of go into more of like what you can do with stuff like that. So what we were talking about, what we were going to do today was free software for editing audio, video, images, stuff like that. Like free plugins, like we were talking about in the audio thing, the Reaper plugins. We were going to talk about gaming software that you could use to develop games and stuff like that. That's also free, because there's a lot out there, guys. Like, the more research I did, the more I looked into stuff, the more I was just going down this rabbit hole of stuff that's free and comprehensive. Like, don't even get me started on Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is insane. You know how many games have come out using Unreal Engine, which is a free software, by the way. For example, it made all 3 Borderlands. The most recent game out, Biomutant, it's made all sorts of crazy stuff. The most recent Dragon Quest game that's coming out was Unreal Engine 5. The most recent iteration of it was Dragon Quest. So Square Enix is using Unreal Engine, and it's a free software. The only thing that you have to do, or the only thing that it costs, is like 5% of profits made using said engine. So
is that the actual number? Like, I know you said you you thought it was 5%. Is that a solidified number? We have confirmation that it's only 5%.
Yeah, I pulled it up. I pulled it up on Epic Games, and when I went to go download it, I remember seeing this. But if you go on their website, they basically break down like what's all free, what's all this, and what's all that. Like, what can Unreal Engine do for you? And all Epic Games requires is like 5% of profits that you use when you claim a game under the Unreal, or when you create a game using the Unreal Engine. Even if you post it up on like itch.io or whatever, they still require 5% of the profit. Stuff like that. That's the only time they charge. So even if you don't want to make a game that you like mass produce or whatever, you can mess around for free. They'll never charge you unless you like obviously post a game up and charge people for it. But if you post a free game up, like, they're not going to charge you for posting up a free game. So it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And they they have stuff on here like add-ons like that cost money and stuff like that, but the basic game, or the basic like UE4 that is like currently being produced, is actually pretty cool. And if you ever want to learn it, they have this thing, and I gotta see if I can find it because I totally scrolled away from it. Oh, here it is.
Let's just get into that. Let's just do this. We got plenty of time. You want to just get into it? We're already halfway into the game development thing. Let's just fucking.
Yeah, I was just so excited about the Unreal Engine thing. That's the one I did the most research on, because I thought it was like, I think it's so cool, because Unreal Engine is like, not only did it come out with, they're coming out with a new one, it's an open beta. So the new Unreal Engine 5 that's coming out is already early access that you could download and play around with and everything. And the stuff comes with, oh, it's insane. If you like, they have this thing. I didn't look into Twinmotion too much, but if you have Unreal Engine 4 and you don't know how to code this stuff, there's an actual game that you can download made with Unreal Engine called Hour of Code that teaches you how to code a game while playing a game. It's one of the
They have
coolest.
A ton of classes too, right? They have a ton of free classes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're free, but they have a lot of like reputable classes that you can take to learn how to do all this.
The thing is, all the classes I was looking at, never once did I see a dollar amount on any of them. I think for the most part, are all free, because I think a lot of it has to do is like, and we always wonder why Epic Games gives out games for free and stuff like that. All the games that I've been seeing that have come out for free, I actually went back through and looked them all up. They're all made with Unreal Engine, so Epic Games is making money on it anyway.
Even NBA 2K21?
I think so. I didn't check. Oh, that's the one I did forget to check, because I was actually curious. NBA 2K21.
So basically, what we're gonna do is forget everything we just said about not doing the editing software today. So basically, what we're gonna do right now is run you through our favorite free editing software. I'm not gonna touch on music. I don't know shit about music. The DAWs they have, I don't know, and I'm not even gonna pretend to explain that to anyone because I have no idea, and I would be lying. As far as like. But I'm gonna get into my favorite video editing and my favorite photo editing. Those are the two things that I do, and Diff's probably gonna help you through. He's been telling you about Unreal Engine and everything, and I don't know much about that either. So keep on informing us. First of all, is NBA 2K Unreal Engine?
I can't tell. It's like it's one of the few ones that I've like not been able to just like it hasn't been like displayed right up the thing. I think it looks like it says Impact Engine. I've never even heard of it.
Genshin Impact?
Genshin Impact.
All right, well, it doesn't matter. That was a Lightning Livy. There she goes.
Oh, what? Yeah. No, it is Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 5, actually.
Cool. So what other so Unreal seems to be an amazing place. Is it like good to learn on? Like if you're interested in getting into game development, is Unreal a good place to start?
I think it's a good place to start because it has a lot of classes that you can take in order to learn it. If you want to learn like basic coding and stuff like that, there's a bunch of what the hell is it called? It was like, do you know the string thing where like
string cheese?
No, the coding or the text games where like it shows you a display of text and you get to decide what to do and then it branches past and stuff like that.
No, I've never seen that. I don't know anything about coding.
I can't remember what it's called, but there's that's free and it's super simple, but it helps you like kind of learn the like networking different codes in your head, but it's stupid simple. So like it's just fun to mess around with. RPG Maker is not free. Unity is free.
RPG Maker though, you can definitely find on sale. So
I think the $80 one that I got, the MK or the MV one, I think I got for like $10 because it was on sale.
Put it in your shopping cart and or not in your shopping cart. Put it in your wish list, and you'll get a notification when it goes on sale. It's cool. I never messed with it because it's not my thing, but I know cousin Diff is certainly interested in it. You made a couple emotes in it too, right? So that's fun.
I do. I make a lot of emotes and I made a lot of D&D maps in it, which is fun. Yeah. I should probably learn how to actually code it, but I just gotta wait till like I'm vibing with it before I can actually start learning to code, which is just how I work. Like I need to like really click with something in order for me to want to learn it. So yeah, there's Unreal Engine, which is free. Unity is free, which is a little bit more like less polished 3-dimensional stuff. But from what I've understood, Unity is a little bit easier to work with.
What games have been made in Unity? Because I absolutely have heard big games being made in that.
Phasmophobia is the one I know off the top of my head. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was made by one person, right? Is it that was a rumor? Is it true? Is it confirmed that it was made by one person?
I think it was made by 2 developers. You know what's so funny? And I was thinking about it. Stardew Valley is actually made with its own engine. Like the guy that made Stardew Valley, like built the engine for Stardew Valley. Like that's insane. But
brilliant.
But I can't remember all the rest of the ones. That's just the one that comes to mind. But I've played a lot of games that are Unity, and once you play it, like if you've ever played Phasmo, you immediately know if you're playing a Unity game because they all have a similar key bindings. They all have similar like tracking. They all have similar motions and stuff like that, and physics and stuff like that. Unity's very consistent. Like you can very consistently play a Unity game and know you're playing a Unity, which is still cool. I mean, that's why I'm saying Unity is a little bit easier because Unreal Engine, like, not only did they make Borderlands, like all the Borderlands games.
They didn't make 3 though, right?
No, they did. They did.
Oh, yeah. It just wasn't in the title.
Because 3 was made on 4, Unreal Engine 4, and the other 2 were made, or the other 3 were made on Unreal Engine 3.
Gotcha.
So, what was I gonna say? I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so Unreal Engine is so like expansive. Like it goes from Borderlands stuff you play, like the first person shooters that you play, Borderlands stuff like that. Then there's Biomutant. Then there's Little Nightmares. So like all the games, like you're not stuck with one specific genre. You're not stuck with one specific character models and stuff like that. You're very much like you could go from a side-scrolling horror game to a goofy space shoot 'em up game. Like Unreal Engine's got a lot of range. And then there's Ren'Py. If you like visual novels, Ren'Py's a fun one.
Yeah, Liv was that's what she used to make Snips and Snails. She just
Yeah.
when she just woke up one day and said, "I want to learn to code. I want to make a visual novel." And she did her research. There was another one that some people use, but she ended up using Rempi or Rempi, whatever. I don't know.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't know much about it. I just know that it's what they use to make visual novels. I've never delved into it. That's not something I could speak too much on, but I know it's free. So that's so if that's like if you like visual novels, there is a game engine specifically for visual novels.
Yeah, Liv is super well versed in it. She spent hours and hours and hours. So like if you want to make a visual novel,
and a lot of
ask
and if you don't
ask me, I'll set you up with someone.
And if you don't have like an artist or someone to do models for you, or you don't want to do models yourself, Ren'Py does have stock like character models and backgrounds and stuff like that, so you don't have to commit to like making your own stuff. So you, even if you don't find yourself as the most artistic person, you could still use placeholders for games that you're developing in that. So it's pretty cool. They have stock images for you.
Yeah. So for game development, what have we landed on? Unreal? Would you rate that top tier?
Unreal, it was the #1 game development engine out there. It's so versatile. It's been used in if y'all ever get a chance, look up all the games that were ever I only listed a couple. Look up all the games that were made using Unreal from 1998 to now. It's insane. That list is huge, and there's so many games you just wouldn't expect to see on on that list. It's so cool. Like my mind was blown when I saw how many games. Like, and you see it on the intro screen, but you never think twice about it. So seeing that list was just insane. Like I've played half those games. I've played more than half those games. Sure.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Yeah, Unreal Engine definitely #1. Unity is a good one, I would say. I mean, all the ones I named, like, yeah, those are the ones that y'all should check out. Like, if you are looking for like a little bit more on the RPG side, like making old school Final Fantasy kind of games, RPG Maker. There's two different types of RPG Maker. I think there's MV and XK or something like. I can't remember the other one, but there's two different versions, and they both look very different. So there's a stark difference too, and you can create your own models in that too as well, so that opens up a lot.
Speaking of creating your own models, what's your go-to for photo editing?
For photo editing? Oh, okay. So yeah, so now so that's all I had to say about the gaming stuff. So I go with Krita.
Free. I've never used it. Is it free? It's free, right?
Yeah, it's a free software, and from when I've read about it, it was a software developed by professional artists in order to make like online art creation, like stuff that like Photoshop does, more available to entry-level people.
Yeah.
And like from all the times I've used it, it acts a lot like Photoshop. It's a little bit harder to do. Like you'd have to like probably look up a couple guides, but that's what we have YouTube for.
Oh well, you'd be silly to think anyone's just gonna waltz into a photo editing program and just know it. Like they can be as intuitive as apple pie on a Sunday morning. You're gonna no matter what.
Well, what
every single person's looking up tutorials.
What I mean
everything.
is it's a little bit because I've used Photoshop before. Photoshop's a little bit more fluid, but Krita's also very young, so like it has a lot of the stuff that Photoshop can do. It's just a lot harder to get to that stuff because it's not people because it looks so much like Photoshop. People try to treat it like Photoshop, so it's just,
absolutely
yeah.
I ran into that issue with GIMP, another free alternative. I had very very similar issue. I don't know. I would have to look up like GIMP versus Krita. So Krita is what is it? Krita.
Yep.
So you just like if you're looking for a powerful editing software, probably just Google that, right? And like, what does it do? You can like it's just for like the entry level photo editor, not photo editor, not like photography, but for like
it's more like
model manipulation.
It's more like a graphic design kind of like photo editor, which is still cool. I mean, like I've definitely used like a lot of my thumbnails on my channel are made through Krita, which they do end up looking pretty good.
Yeah. So for that, like I guess I say like entry level or like YouTuber
That it
editing.
yeah, and that's what the purpose of it was. Like I
Yeah.
said, it was trying to help people get into editing without having to spend money on Photoshop.
Yeah. And that's where I use GIMP. I use Lightroom and Photoshop, but like if I don't have Photoshop installed on my computer, I go to GIMP, and as until it works until it doesn't. It works until you're like what the fuck? It, it, it's not intuitive. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it is very, very, very like, well, why the hell doesn't this work this way? And I understand that developers make things differently, and they can't basically copy and paste like what Photoshop does. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they did it right. GIMP, I do have a little bit of issue. It's very powerful if you're entry level photo editing. Even if you need to, I think they have like even some of the stuff that Lightroom has, like taking out shadows, like importing raw photos and taking out
Oh,
shadows,
okay.
highlights. So you can manipulate photos with that too. That's just if you're. My whole thing is if you're turning a profit from anything, get away from GIMP. If you are
Oh yeah, if you're making money, like pay for the
upgrade,
software.
yeah,
Yeah.
upgrade. GIMP is. I saw a really great quote, and it was for video editing. It said if you're getting into video editing, start with a free program and learn it and use it until you realize why it's free. You know,
Yeah.
until you realize why it's not good enough, and then upgrade. These programs, if you're just trying to slap a thumbnail up, GIMP, Krita, Fire Alpaca is another one. These
Oh, I
programs
forgot
are
about Fire
awesome.
Alpaca.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're powerful, but at a certain point, it pays to pay for a
Yeah,
program like.
when you start getting into like the more advanced stuff, like yeah, definitely Photoshop is always going to be like the like meta in the market.
Mm-hmm. It's the industry standard
Yeah.
for photography. Lightroom is the industry standard for just touching just editing, your lighting in Lightroom, shadows, highlights, tone curves, lights, darks, and that is I use Lightroom on a daily basis, every single day, and I don't think I could use GIMP or something. It's worth getting. It's worth purchasing if you are making, even if you're breaking even. So if Lightroom and Photoshop cost you $20 a month for the package, and
Mhm.
you're making $20 a month on photography, that
Yeah.
$20 you make is best invested into those programs.
Yeah.
It's I love. You guys know me. I'm never like a big fanboy of like big massive corporations, but like I don't know, Lightroom and Photoshop, they got the market. It's really good stuff. If
Well,
if you're making a profit from it, it pays to go with the big boys on this one.
yeah. I definitely agree. Like I can't stress enough the how good like Krita, Photoshop or Krita, GIMP and Fire Alpaca are for if you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to like learn how to edit, but it's like training wheels. Eventually, you're gonna outgrow them. You're gonna need to move on. You're gonna need to move on to something that's a little bit more advanced. But on that topic, there is a program out there that's free that I think people could be using for way longer than I don't think people will outgrow nearly as fast. And it's a software me and Eric both use quite a bit, and every single day I'm learning new stuff on it, and that is DaVinci Resolve.
Video editing, very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I'm new to the program. I was not a believer. I was brought up on Cyberlink Power Director, and I've had Vegas for the last
Mhm.
2 years. And when Diff was telling me, "Oh, I got DaVinci Resolve. It's a free program," I was like, "Free? I have paid programs. Why would I go to DaVinci? Why? Like, why? I wouldn't do that. I've paid for these programs. They're obviously better." And then I went to DaVinci Resolve, and I haven't touched. I use Vegas at work, and I'm like, man, I wish this was DaVinci.
I just it's so intuitive. It's so smooth, and like I'm starting to get into the fusion thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to describe that. I'm gonna leave that to you because you know a little bit more about it than I do. But
Yeah.
fusion is nuts. I've seen people work with it. It's so cool, and they have like they have a free version, but they also have a paid version, which I think is a good indicator that it's a good software because they have people that will pay for like the professional studio stuff. But even the free version has so much good stuff. The only difference, and actually I found what the difference was in the paid version versus the free version. But if you want to go into Fusion right now, because we could talk about the stuff that comes with it, and then we'll go into like what the paid stuff.
Yeah. So Fusion is, now I'm no professional by any means.
Yeah.
I'm a good intermediate level editor. And so when even when I say before, like, oh, DaVinci's so much better than Vegas, it's so much better than Power Director, that's, a lot of that is subjective. These programs do the same thing. It's just how your brain works as far as getting there. You know, a lot of these programs, if you're just uploading a YouTube video, if you're just throwing in media, cutting, adding music, putting in transitions, every one of these programs will work for you identically. And at the high end of these, I'm not there yet. I can't scratch the surface of the power of these programs. So there's a bunch of free softwares that are amazing for what most of the people are doing. And as far as like Hollywood production goes, there's the industry standards. It's been shifting, I think, from Avid to Premiere, but the thing about DaVinci Resolve is that has been the industry standard for color grading because it has such an advanced color grading system. Sorry, I got off topic.
It's so funny that you brought up color though, because and I'm gonna interrupt you for just a second because I was looking through other stuff and literally the color correction on DaVinci Resolve is the industry standard for Hollywood. It like says it right there. That's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, that's what but because they have been getting more powerful as far as their video editing goes, it's more people are using it. It's not quite there yet, but it's like, oh, hold on, like this.
The format of the actual editing stuff like reminds me a lot of Premiere Pro though. Like it looks like it.
I have never ever once in my life had the privilege to work with Premiere Pro. So everything I say about Premiere Pro is just going to be done by research. It is going to be through research I have done on the internet. I haven't had the chance to use Premiere Pro, but let me just get into like 3 minutes about Fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know it too crazy well, but basically what Fusion is it uses nodes, and it's a little, imagine like a roadmap. So you start out with your video, and then within there you have different levels. You have like top layer, middle layer, bottom layer, below that, and you can say you want. So what I use it for a lot is the TikTok edits. So if I'm gaming, you've probably all seen where people have their Twitch clips, right? And they expand the main view, put their circle webcam on top, and have the Gaussian blur in the background. So with that, it's it's a roadmap to get there. You take your initial input, your median in, and you take a line, and because you want the Gaussian blur on the bottom layer, you draw a little map down below your median in and put your Gaussian blur. So now that's the background because it's the bottom layer. It's on the bottom. And then blah, 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 a couple more steps. Oh, I want my webcam on top. You draw a roadmap up above that and you cut your webcam out. So it's able to separate it into nodes. And when I first looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then the more you get into it, it's like, wow, that's how my brain works in layers. It's visually layers. And different nodes and different effects you can put on it. So you can do the Gaussian blur on the bottom layer, and then you can zoom in on the middle layer, and you can expand the bottom, and then you can zero in on your face cam on the top layer, and all tucked into one neat little TikTok video. So that's what Fusion does, and it's so powerful. And what I'm getting into now is making macros for it. So hopefully I'll be able to just go in, hit paste that whole roadmap process I told you about, paste that in and put my media in, and it should all neatly pop up into one TikTok video.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I need to learn how to do that. I'm just like, my brain is not willing to commit to learning it just yet. So I gotta wait till I hit that that vibe with it. But every time, like when you were telling me about it, and like every single video I've watched of it, it just sounds so freaking amazing. And Like, and just like to add to like Fusion and everything, the stuff that comes with the free version, like Fusion and lets you do all that stuff, they also give you motion graphics, visual effects, audio post production. Like they have this thing called Fairlight, which is really cool. Haven't learned much about it. I know Zombie has delved into it a little bit, but so like that's really cool and everything. The only thing, the biggest difference between the free and the studio version is you get like this like neural engine, which is like an AI that kind of assists you. You get a stereoscopic 3D tools, dozens of extra Resolve FX filters, Fairlight
That's
FX audio filters, HDR grading, and HDR scopes, which is a lot of the stuff. Okay, so a lot of that stuff is awesome. Like it's super good. It's super integrated into DaVinci itself. DaVinci is also an open source software, meaning you can use third-party plugins and stuff in order to
really.
achieve the things you want in that. Like if you find a good plugin that you like say, hey, you want to do this specific thing, there probably is a plugin for it that you can put in there. And you can do that in the free version. However, like but the stuff that DaVinci sells, like the $300 package, $300 and it's yours. Like you don't pay per month or anything. They have like these plugins and everything that are already integrated with DaVinci, so you probably will have like less glitches and stuff like that, bugs happening and stuff like that. But other than that, like the free version lets you use third-party plugins as much as you want. Like there's no limit. It's the same thing. Like that's why I love open source stuff like Krita, like GIMP. Um OBS is an open source thing. That's why you can use stuff like Reaper plugins in it.
Mm-hmm.
So open source software is so cool. I love open source.
Yeah. Another thing about, and I'm sure this has to do with it being open source, is DaVinci you can run on Linux, I believe. Let me
Yeah, it's
see.
Mac,
I have
Linux,
this.
and PC in Windows.
Yeah, Resolve runs on Linux. Premiere runs on Mac and PC. Vegas, I don't know what Vegas does. Final Cut Pro is only Mac.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things are held to either what you've learned, because you said it before, and one word specifically stuck out in my mind that you said before. You said you're not ready to commit to learning Fusion or something, whatever you said,
Yeah.
because
I can't click. I can't click with like the learning process.
what it is it's what you, if you've been with a company for 20 years, right, and you've been using Avid. I know nothing about Avid aside from it. For the last 20 something years, it has been the Hollywood industry standard for video editing. So
Yeah.
if all you know is Avid, any of these programs are going to be a little weird to you. You might know if you've already invested in Macs, right, because you've been using Final Cut, and someone comes around and says, we're going to PC, we're only using this program. It's like, well, all I know is Mac. Obviously you have to adapt to whatever happens, but like, it's your initial investment. It's if you've been spending $250 a year on Premiere for
Mhm.
the last 10 years, and you've put all your time and sunk all your energy into learning that, and then you're not going to go buy a Mac and learn Final Cut Pro and pay for that. It's
Yeah.
so a lot of it is, if you're used to something, just use it. uh,
So, just thinking about that as well, because you talked about it earlier with the Photoshop thing. Start out on the free software, and then once you start making money or outgrow that software, you can move
mhm.
on to the paid software with Photoshop and stuff like that. I think that's why I have such an affinity for DaVinci, is because you can grow with DaVinci. Like you start getting used to the free software. Say you start making
Yeah.
enough money that you can buy their program. $300, you have their studio, which is everything. So it's just what you've learned plus more, but it's still the same base software. And then
Yeah,
on
I
top
like that.
and then on top of that, they have hardware that comes with it that's specifically for DaVinci. Remember we were talking about
Yeah. Yep.
the face things? They have color panels. They're expensive, but it's most studio equipment is. So like
They're
if you're
peanuts compared to $300 for a fully functional, on its way up and up video editing program is like nothing. I think even Vegas Pro was more than that back in the
Yeah.
day. Like Final Cut is like these things like $300 for an editing software. I know it sounds like,
Well,
oh my god, $300, but that's nothing for an editing
do
software.
you remember the keyboard that we saw?
I
That was
love
like
it.
it was like $100. And so like say you like start making money, you get that keyboard. That way you can edit a little bit faster because it's got
Mm-hmm.
all the keys like labeled. It's basically a keyboard specifically to show you how to run DaVinci. Say you
Yes.
upgrade to the $300 one, you save up, you spend another. Well, there's certain ones that like the curve is really high. So there's a speed editor. So it's like this little panel that basically helps you edit fast, like a little bit quicker. They got like dials. They have knobs and stuff like that. That's $300. Say you wanted to get the full effect, like you got the DaVinci Resolve Advanced panel, which is basically just everything you need on a piece of hardware.
Mm-hmm.
That's $30,000. But you build up to that. Like there's stuff. It basically works in levels. You start out with the free, then you buy the program, then you start buying some of the hardware. And then once you start buying the hardware, it's a slope, but it's a slope that you don't have to undertake until whatever it is you're doing is making you money, because
Yeah.
you just keep getting better, and once you're getting better, you get paid more, you can start affording better stuff. And
Or
oh my god,
the company you work for, is using
exactly.
it, and then they say, well, we realize he can cut his efficiency. You know, he can double his efficiency time if we get him this. Fuck it, let's just get him this.
Yeah, and it's insane. I'm just now on the page of all the hardware stuff that you can buy. Like it's gonna cost a pretty penny to buy it, all this kind of hardware, but it's good hardware. And you can, like I said, you start out on the free program, you can grow with this program and pay for it, and it's slowly becoming an industry standard. It's competing with the big boys because it has a paid side to it. So that's so awesome that you can start out free and then work your way up. I think it's the same thing with Unreal Engine. I think there's a gaming studio version of Unreal Engine where you can pay for, and it just has like what is it? What was the word that they used on here? It's called like, yeah, multi-user collaboration. So you can have the same project on multiple screens working on different segments of each thing. You can't do that with the free versions of Unreal or DaVinci, but
Yeah,
there's a studio version that gives you like just so much more options. So like that's another thing you can.
that was one thing I do have written down here as far as things you can't do. You don't the collaborative thing,
Mm-hmm.
and also what do I have here in your timeline? In the program, we'll have a limit of 4K UHD 3840 by 2160. So there is a limit on your
Dude,
resolution.
So
And
you're saying I
whatnot.
can only do 4K?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even touch 4K.
I can't remember the last time I
Everything.
made anything in 2K.
Yeah, everything I do in my life, like my cameras are like 2 generations behind, my software is 2 generations behind, my computers, my graphics card's 2 generations behind. I don't need the top tier just came out. And speaking of that, that's a good segue into when it becomes beneficial to pay monthly. Um,
Yeah.
because that's the thing with the Premiere. When you pay monthly for that, right? You pay for the year, and if they come out with a new one the next year, you just pay monthly for that one. It's whereas if you buy DaVinci Resolve 17, right, and then they come out with 18 in 6 months because you didn't pay attention to the models, and now you got to pay another 300. So there for me, it's worth it to purchase. You know, if I bought DaVinci Resolve, I would buy DaVinci 17 or 18,
Mm-hmm.
and then if the new one comes out, I'd weigh my options. I'd say, well, what's new with this one? Do I really need it? Is it going to affect me that much? I've had the same fucking Lightroom version since like 2013, and it works perfectly for me. It does everything I need. I don't need like all the new amenities. Sure, they're nice, but I'd rather just set it and forget it. I bought it years and years ago, and it just works for me. So you
Oh,
got to see what style you are. Do you need cutting edge? Pay monthly. Can you deal with a couple outdated features? One-time payment. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I wanted to go back to the Krita thing because as I was closing my tabs, I saw something that I like completely forgot to mention. Krita has a sketch capability, so if you have a touch screen or whatever, you
Mm.
can put it on your iPad and you can sketches and you can edit with that. So like it's also like for people that want to do like actual sketching art as well. I completely forgot about that. I wrote that down like last second when I was doing research and I almost forgot to talk about that.
Liv, what's that iPad program? Procreate. Speaking of sketching on an
Oh
iPad,
yeah, Create.
Procreate.
Oh,
That's
no.
is it, how much does it cost, Liv? Okay, so for one of the best sketching programs, digital sketching programs that so many people use, Procreate. Liv said she thinks it's like $5, but it's only on iPad. You can't get it on anything else. $10. It's $10. She just looked it up. It's $10. Thank you. So there are like cheap doesn't mean bad, and free doesn't mean bad, and expensive doesn't mean amazing. You know?
Yeah, look at Vegas. I mean, like after switching to DaVinci, I don't think I could ever go back to Vegas.
Vegas is super powerful. It's very strong. I just like Resolve better.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't click with Vegas that well. I mean, I'm not gonna bash it because like I used it for what 2 years. Like
Yeah.
it just didn't click well with me. I didn't want to learn it as much as I wanted to learn like DaVinci.
Yeah, I like Vegas. I still use Vegas at where I work. So but a lot of times if I'm doing something, I'm like, damn, I kind of just like rather take this project home and do it in Resolve. So and what's up?
Oh, we forgot to. I know there's like really only one option for this, but the audio stuff.
I don't know anything. I would be lying if I said I knew anything about the audio.
The only thing I know is y'all, if you're doing like music stuff or you're doing like voiceover stuff, anything with like super heavy in audio, Audacity is the way to go. Like I know like people that are professionals that still use Audacity. Like I mean, the paid software is still better, but Audacity is a great starting. What'd you about?
I don't know. I've never seen like a professional being like, man, I can't wait to get into Audacity. Everyone, like
a lot of people recommend Audacity. Like every single
Ableton. Ableton is the one I see my friends who are producers.
Is that free?
And just recording? No.
Ableton well, yeah, then that's what I'm talking about. Like
I see a lot of people using Ableton and they love it.
I was talking to Zombie and he had a lot of good things to say about Audacity. It's a great like starting software. It helps you learn the various things, and you could do a lot with it. Like
it's easy too. It's easy.
Yeah, it's super easy. Simple, stupid simple. So if you want to learn audio, that's a good place to go. I didn't really find any other audio softwares that were worth looking into. I think Audacity is really just the one that you should go with. And I was going to talk about Shotcut, which is another free video editing software. Mm-hmm. It's like if you just want to like compile a bunch of clips or like mash together stuff with simple transitions and simple stuff like that, it's the simplest form of video editing you can do, and it's super low barrier of entry. It's not like you have to look up a billion things. Like I learned how to put subtitles on there through like a 2-minute video just showing me where it was. Like Shotcut's nice to kind of like just get your feet wet with video editing. Not a whole lot of audio editing in that, though. I ended up having to do a lot of that in necessity.
Speaking of video or audio editing, Vegas, I believe, is a fully functioning DAW. So, like, you can do, I think you can even record audio, like, well in Vegas. I think that was one of the draws. Yeah, I think that was one of the draws to it. But real quick, I just want to go over from I guess easiest but least powerful to like industry standard real quick, because there's one more that I want to put in there. So we have like Shotcut and Hit Film being just like slap something together, throw a transition in there. And then we got like Vegas, DaVinci Resolve is like really good mid-tier, getting to top tier, basically do anything you want. So I don't know, if you have a friend who edits video for like very casually and they say that they're like like Vegas or like Resolve isn't powerful enough for them, they're lying to you. They're absolutely lying to you, because so many people can't scratch the surface of what these programs can do. It's insane. These are so powerful. These programs are so powerful. And then top tier, they're all paid and they're all expensive, but like Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, Avid. I know nothing about Avid. I just know that it's a big name. And then
I've used it like once or twice.
I've never even heard of it before I did research.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't, because I don't know, I'm not in Hollywood movies. So those three are like Final Cut, Avid, and Premiere. Those are like the big boys. Those are like the Hollywood editors. And I think there is a shift change going on. I cannot confirm, but from what I read, because I was just Google what's the industry standard, and it's always an argument between those three. Avid is always the top, but it looks like there's going to be a shift soon
I think
of Adobe taking it over.
I think the thing with Avid is Avid was very well funded.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, because Adobe has always been free software until very recent.
What?
Well, not always been, but you know what I mean. Like,
I've never heard of a free Adobe program.
I guess Adobe programs that I remember using and remember like working with was like the PDF readers and shit.
Oh, so Acrobat Reader?
Yeah. So I never really thought of Adobe as anything other than like a PDF reader. So, but like I know Avid was super well funded, like right at the beginning of its life and everything. So I think like now that like Adobe and DaVinci are starting to get more traction of Avid, like everything's only going to get better because there's competition amongst the big hitters.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing I wanted to add about Photoshop, and I guess Premiere as well. The abundance of reputable, and I stress the word reputable, classes and YouTube tutorials, because when you look for classes on YouTube on a Photoshop, say I want to do double exposure. Okay, you're going to get a professional classroom environment, classroom quality, educated photo editor giving you, probably directly from Adobe, giving you a breakdown on how to do it. When you go into like GIMP, right? It's a 13-year-old kid with a tin can microphone screeching about how to cut and paste a fucking PNG. Which still you learn stuff from that, but like
it's hard to listen to.
Yeah, sometimes you want a more professional environment.
I will say this: there is one other thing on DaVinci that I wanted to talk about, but I unfortunately didn't get into any research with it. So maybe what is it? Fairlight, the audio software that comes with it. Because I never touched Fairlight. I've never even looked at Fairlight. Like, I just know it exists. And I know it's like a really good audio software for post-production and stuff like that. I might give it a shot over the next couple weeks, and maybe I'll like re-acknowledge it again once I've like learned more about it. But I just know it's an audio post-production, which is super cool. So, I mean, like, if you wanted to record audio in Audacity, just stuff, maybe DaVinci's a good audio software on its own too.
I have used Fairlight, the audio program. I used it on our last video to balance our audio, where I tracked the decibels, because they're two different tracks. So you have the two different tracks side by side, and you can see like, oh, this one's peaking at negative 12 decibels, and this one's only peaking at -9, but this one's normally at -9, and this one's normally at -8. So you can sit there and view the decibels and adjust the two tracks. That's as far as I've gotten in it. Just balancing out, because like I said, we record separately. I will, at the end of this, I will send him my audio, or he will send me his audio, and we slap them in. So sometimes if his mic is recording louder than mine, it needs to be equalized. So I put it into Fairlight, and just visually, you do audibly and visually. I like to have the backup of I don't know what's going on. Not that my ears aren't good; they're good, but like I'd rather have that backup of visually seeing, okay, yeah, our levels are visibly and audibly equal, and you can just drag the bar a little bit and bring this up, and it was strong. It was good. I don't know, how was the audio last episode? If it was good, then Fairlight's good.
Yeah, no, I like the audio. I wish I had fixed mine. Because I had my mic over here, because I thought it would pick up more of just me, and it would cut out like the echo from over there, but it didn't work out. So hopefully this time around, I tested it a couple times to make sure we were back to like good. So that was
good.
So if you guys did listen to the last episode and I sounded like shit, that's not because of Fairlight, it's because I'm an idiot.
What other? I mean, so for photo editing, we got Fire, Alpaca, Krita, and GIMP for free software, and then if you're turning a profit, go Adobe. It's if you're looking at it long term, like if if it's something you're doing for the rest of your life, it can be a little daunting saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to be paying $20,000 over the next 50 years." But like, yeah, also if Photoshop was $600 like it used to be and they came out with a new one every 2 years, you'd probably be paying close to that. It can be a little intimidating, but these are things that have been making people money and will continue to make people money. Like, if you're doing it just for fun, just to slap a thumbnail up, use the free program. If you're trying to be professional, I'm not saying you can't even, all right, so you can totally use GIMP in a professional environment too. It's just Photoshop is easier and more powerful.
Yeah,
It's easier subjective. Easier subjective. If you grew up using GIMP, GIMP's going to be easier. If you grew up using Adobe, Adobe's going to be easier. So it's tough to say which is easier.
I guess like the conclusion to come to with this is, if you're interested in content creating in any sort of way, media, in any sort of way, and you want to start at home, don't go out and buy thousands of dollars worth of equipment and software and stuff like that. Start with the basics, because say a month or two down the road, hell, even 2 years down the road, you decide it's not for you. You have thousands of dollars worth of equipment and software that you just have. So
Yeah.
it's always good to start with the free stuff. That's why our mics are super cheap, because I mean, like, I'm in it for the long haul, but I still like this mic a lot. I actually just upgraded headsets. I don't know if anyone noticed. Like, if you all see, like, there's no red light there. I actually got a really nice headset.
Wow. Let's
and,
go.
And I love it. Oh, I actually just set up the T2i that Eric had given me, and I'm still waiting on the cord to come in.
I was gonna say,
you know what? I just know what I found out? I put it in my shopping cart. I never actually bought it.
Oh, you silly goose! You silly goose!
So I have to go back. So I went back and I ordered it. So it'll be here like probably the next time we do this. But yeah, I'm slowly upgrading. I'm not trying to go too hard into things. You know, you find something that you want to upgrade, and you're saying, oh hey, like I want to do this longer. Now's the time to start upgrading little things. I mean, it took me a year of content creating to even upgrade my computer. And the biggest reason I started with the computer is because $1,000 PC is not specifically for content creating, media creation, anything like that. That's because I want a game. Like, I don't specifically need this computer for that. I could use it for multiple things, so I don't have an issue spending money on that. What my issue is people buying like the $500 Yetis, the $500 headsets right out the gate when they go to like try to do this content creation. I get the passion. I appreciate the passion. Don't dive into it too hard, because more times than not, like, not more times than not, but there's a chance that you could burn out from all that, and now you just have all this equipment that you're not, and you have to sell it.
The hardware is easier to deal with than the software. You know,
Yeah,
you're not
but
you're not gonna sell your copy of Photoshop. But like, yeah, people will buy Yeti. Look at that, you know.
Yeah,
people will buy your hardware.
Even still, you're not gonna get everything back that you put into it. So just start small. You don't need to go after the top YouTuber with the best, most cutting edge stuff. Start small. Get comfortable with being on camera. Get comfortable with editing. Get comfortable with doing this thing, and then start upgrading once you outgrow your stuff. Like, it took me a while to upgrade my headset. I think I had the same one for 6 years. So
some people just got that money. Then fuck it, send it. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you have thousands of dollars laying around, yeah, you can dump it into stuff. Go for it. But
yeah,
the smart thing to do for people that listen to Half Past Broke, the broke is in the name. Like,
one thing I want to stress is it doesn't matter what you start with. Don't let the air quote barrier of entry deter you from it. If you want to do something, you can. Now, don't go buy, you know, the Five Below mic and expect it to work. You need to do your research. You need to find what cheaper products, you know, and luckily we're doing the research for you here. What cheaper products can be made to sound higher end. So yeah, if you're gonna be frugal, if you're gonna be, you know, if you're broke, you got to be smart, you know. So if you it's not that don't let the barrier of entry, don't let the cost of entry stop you from chasing your dreams. You know, you can still do it. So I talked about it with
Yeah.
photography. We're talking about it with content creation. Like, you can do your research. You don't have to have that brand new cutting edge top tier anything.
Yeah,
You can
well, and
stay a couple generations behind, you
and
know?
you don't need to do it all at once either. Like I bought the mic like way after I started content creating and stuff like that. I know a couple guys that still use a suction cup that, or one of those little suction phone mount things and use that for their webcam. Like there's no there's no need to go out and buy all of it at once, you know, start small, you know. Get comfortable with everything and then work your way up.
Invest in yourself.
Exactly. And you don't need to
So,
go
something like
expensive.
that.
People use their, like I said, people use their phones as webcams. Like, and if you don't want a webcam, you don't need a webcam. I just
People
like
use
being
their phone. Oh shit! Do people use their phones and they look better than these pro webcams?
Yeah, they do.
They look like DSLRs on there. Jesus, yeah. Use your phone. Use whatever you want.
The other problem is my greasy fingers always end up touching like the cameras. They always end up looking blurry.
How greasy are your fingers? What are you eating pizza every day?
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about the working out thing, but we'll do that. We'll do that next time. A little bit more comfortable with that. I'm glad we ended up doing the software thing. I think this is
Yeah, about like when we're like, oh, we're not gonna do it. I was like, fuck you, just do it. Let's just do it. Whatever.
So funny. We've just been hemming and hawing about it for like 2 weeks now, and we're just like, yeah, let's just fucking go.
Well, I wanted to have the proper knowledge. You know,
and we can update. We could do addendums to this episode as we go too. It's not like this will be the last time we talk about editing something. That we find something really cool that we want to share, or say we like learn something new on a software that you can do. Like this could be a rolling thing. Like it doesn't have to just be this one off. So this is more just like showing you the big broad topic of software that you can use for editing.
Yeah, these are and there's probably many more. These are just the softwares that are in our scope, that are in our field of view. These are the ones that we use.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, I think we're all good to go, right? It's been a long journey. We went from coffee to software to chasing your dreams. We're really covering it all this episode.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very highly caffeinated episode. Because
yeah,
we both started out with coffee. I'm actually out.
Yeah, me too. I have a little left. It's cold.
Yeah,
but yeah. So do we have anything in store? Anything? Any updates? What are we doing? When are you streaming? I was
actually gonna stream today. So my stream schedule is a little bit different now because I work Sunday through Wednesday. So I'm gonna start streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So yeah, that's the only change in mine. Are you gonna start streaming again? I saw you pop on.
I started streaming Control, and I wasn't enjoying it. There's no difficulty settings. I like to play on easy mode. This just really quick because I know we got to wrap this up soon. But like, I play my story mode games on easy mode. I'm there for the story. I don't give a shit about killing 36 waves of ads. I don't care about killing a really hard boss. Am I ever gonna go brag to my friends that I killed this really hard boss in this obscure game that no one's fucking heard of? Except it's actually free on Epic Game Store right now. So go get Control.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I was getting like really mad on stream, and I was like, I'm not having fun. And if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. I'm out there to enjoy life, and
yeah, especially when you're playing video games, like
exactly.
Enjoy what I'm doing. Oh, one final note before you do your closing or whatever. No content creator shout out this week because I want y'all to contact us and let me know.
Wow.
Like, give me suggestions and I'll go check them out. Like, I've pretty much run through the list of friends that are content creating pretty regularly. There's a couple I want to mention somewhere down the road, but I want them to be a little bit more established before we throw them to the wolves. So, you as the viewer, if you have someone that you think is like an awesome content creator that deserves a little bit of limelight, that needs just a little bit more attention, message me in Discord, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I'll watch them throughout the week and see what they're all about, and we can give them a little bit of a shout out. So I think we're gonna save that. I think we're gonna save the shout outs to viewer suggested shout outs for now, because we've, like I said, we've pretty much run through our friends at this point.
Yeah, and we're big time now. You come after us. We don't.
No, I just want to be able to discover more, and I don't have time to like browse and stuff like that. And some people are not exactly on my radar because they haven't.
I don't watch streams.
But this is my segment. This is like the segment that like I kind of like follow. But so yeah, if you find a content creator, or hell anyone who does anything on the internet, let me know. I'll go give them.
That's a broad. The internet's a weird place.
I'll shout out on OnlyFans.
They got a great www.pornhub.
But yeah, just shoot me a DM on Discord or put it in the comments below, and I'll give them a look see. We can start shouting out viewer suggested creators.
And I will only object if they're absolutely terrible.
Well, yeah, me and Eric will watch them both, but or we could give critiques if you guys want. If you guys are, how about this?
No, absolutely not. Unless they request it. Unless
so
they
that's
say,
what I mean.
Come
like
critique my channel.
If you yourself are a content creator, put a link for your channel. Like DM me a link for your channel, and we'll check it out and we'll tell you what we think. And yeah. I mean, by no means are we professional. We suck too, but we'll let you know. We'll let you know as a viewer of your content how we felt about your content, kind of thing. So that's kind of where that's going.
Yeah.
But anyway,
other than that, I think we're good to go. We got good big things coming up in the next couple weeks. We're both employed, so the money's a flowing. We're gonna be getting ready to do some fun things. And I think that's it. I'm happy. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty content with this. I think we said what we needed to say about coffee.
Yeah, that's the most important takeaway here is like just drink good coffee. That's it. All right. I think that's about it. We're wrapping up, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I believe Diff really appreciates it. Can I confirm?
I do very much appreciate.
Beautiful. And we're out. This wraps up another episode. Is this episode 33 or 34?
34.
I think 34. It's 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crap.
Wow. We're really chugging along.
It's good to be back.
It's game time, baby. All right, everyone. Thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it. See ya. Are you not gonna say goodbye? Not yet.